We're back now. And so just let the record reflect that the BIA Board of Directors received training from staff on the operation of the BIA. So moving on to our next bit, I think it would be great if we could just do a round table and everyone have an opportunity to introduce ourselves. I apologize, should have done that at the beginning. I'm Matthew Armstrong, CIO and Treasurer for the Town of Prescott, and we'll start with Mr. Bunce.
My name is Kevin Bunce. I'm owner-operator of Forwarders Antiques downtown here in Prescott, and I've been on the board now for 4 years.
I'm Johanna Frere. I'm with the Outpost Cafe downtown Prescott. I've lived in the area for probably 10 years.
I'm Tracy Young. I'm a member of council and I'm managing partner of Irving H. Miller Insurance downtown.
I'm Natalie Sobey. I have a new business that I'm hoping to have up and going for mid-April. And I'm also a real estate agent in the area. I work for RE/MAX.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Pigeon-Kugler. I'm the executive director of the South Granville Food Bank. I've been there 21 years since its inception. I am also the president of the South Granville Chamber of Commerce. Our AGM is March 28th, a little shameless promotion. And I'm looking forward, I was on the BIA a long time ago, but I'm really looking forward to working with this group. It's going to be exciting. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nitesh and I'm the property owner of 290 King Street West. It's my first time on a BIA, so I'm really enjoying it and looking forward to working with everybody here and contributing. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Belinda Campbell. So excited about working with everyone. I'm with BMO Bank of Montreal on the corporate finance side. And I also have my own side hustle business, with a small business, which I will be launching here in Prescott. So I'm really excited about that. Just super excited to be here. Thanks.
I'm Cherry Moran and I'm a hairstylist and salon owner here in town.
What's the name of your business, Charity?
Curls and Cuts.
Okay, thank you.
Gary Ganny, I own 198 King Street West here. Trying to get a little takeout and hopefully a little lounge there off the ground here shortly. I've been in the area for 10 years.
Hi, I'm Nicole Hudson, part owner of Katerina's Coffee Shop.
Excellent. Dana?
I'm Dana Valentine, Economic Development Officer.
And I'm Justin St. Pierre. I'm the Business Development Officer and BIA Coordinator for the Town of Prescott.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So we're going to move to the election of the BIA board officer positions. There are 4 positions, being chair, vice chair, treasurer, and secretary. I'll go through each one asking for nominations, and then as we resolve each one, then we'll move on to the next. So the first one that I'll ask for nominations, and you can self-nominate your and go from there, is chair. So do I have anybody that wishes to be chair? So we have Belinda and we have Kevin. Anyone else? Okay. So in that case, when we have more than one, we can take a vote. We will just hand out the ballots. And if you...
I knew you were going to.
I knew you were going to.
I had a feeling I accidentally talked you into it months ago. And I'm like, oh.
Everyone's good, everyone's got a pen.
So if you can just write the name down, then we will just collect them in a moment, and then we'll move to the next one.
No speeches?
Pardon?
No speeches. I feel like they should both say something.
Oh, you know I can speech in a second. Bonnie's like, no, don't let her talk.
I'd like to get over tonight by 9.
Oh, I was down for a good Belinda speech.
Sorry that I should have handed that to you earlier.
And then
The full 3 minutes though. So.
No, I think I was like 10 seconds short. Like I really tried. Alex? Thank you.
Oh, right. Yeah.
able to type in.
It's so much fun.
Got it. Thank you.
Just a question. Do I get to vote, like type in?
Absolutely,
Say
Nicole.
type in? Yeah.
Yes.
You could also, if you want to be anonymous, you have access to your phone, could you just send an email to Justin?
Okay, I'll do that.
That work? Okay.
Pizza.
Or I can go for some. That's that. We're gonna do this at supper time.
Can do it.
Are there any extras?
Mm-hmm.
Can't imagine we're gonna have a lot of competition for secretary.
Things is not.
It seemed like the least amount of responsibility. Secretary.
Or try to please on the right sound player. Please player.
And do I have the votes? Do I have the votes?
I wrote hers down, yes, hers in there, yeah.
Very good. So our chair will be Belinda. Congratulations. Okay, next.
Linda.
Oh, you don't want to be.
I'm just gonna take that away from you.
I don't want this.
So I'll just finish with the positions and then I'll pass it over to Belinda if that's okay. So vice chair, who would like to nominate for vice chair? Kevin? Do I have anyone else that wishes to be vice chair? Not seeing anyone else, then Kevin is acclaimed.
You don't want to keep track of the money.
It's just a report you have to talk about, right?
Yes.
Still.
So next one is treasurer, and to allay any fears, the town does all of the accounting, pays the bills, everything like that. What we do is put together a report for you at the end of each month. You can review it and then present to the board. Also, just keeping track of any decisions that the board has made in terms of future encumbrance and stuff like that against the reserve fund. Then we help with that as well. It's hopefully not too onerous, and we try to make it as painless as possible. So without further ado, I just did the best I could on promoting that because it tends to be a hard one. Would anyone like to put their name forward for treasurer?
Okay, I'll take it. The easiest one.
Okay. Do I have anyone else? Okay, not seeing anyone else, then Nitish, you will be acclaimed as treasurer.
Thank you, sir.
And I apologize if I just murdered your name.
No, perfect.
And finally, we have secretary, and that's really working with the chair as well as Justin, making sure that we get the agenda out or able to develop the agenda, things like that, and making sure that we've accurately recorded everything that occurs at the meeting. It's one of the reasons why we actually record the meeting, so that we make sure that we capture all of those movers and seconders and have reflected the votes correctly. So without further ado, do I have anyone that wishes to take the position of secretary?
I don't think you sold that one as well.
Okay.
Hold your hand, seriously.
So at the end of the day, I believe Justin does a fantastic job of actually doing the minutes. and really it's more of a handing off and just making sure that they're accurately reflected. So it's not a massive commitment. But certainly a vital area of the board that we certainly appreciate. Excellent.
Yeah.
Your brain.
Has now been acclaimed. So without, that ends my chair role for this meeting, and I'll hand it over to Chair Carroll. Thank you.
So I want to thank everyone for coming tonight and really excited about our new board and how everything's going to work out. So in terms of our next agenda item, we are looking at downtown lighting fixtures, design choices.
Okay, so this is actually maybe new to some members. So we, during the last term of the board, we had a lot of discussion about downtown beautification, lighting, talked about some new custom design pole mount lights. And the idea that came forth based on the brainstorming of the board was a lighthouse designed to look very similar to the Rotary Lighthouse that we see adjacent to the marina, iconic Rotary Lighthouse. So we had a custom design. We contacted a company to have some custom designs made, and they came back with a design that we approved. So they have been busy fabricating these lights over the winter. They're going to be installed on, essentially, we've purchased 14 for now, so they'll go on the same poles that you see the snowflakes on. And then we just hope to expand on these every year. We're hoping to see if the BIA likes them and we get some good feedback, that maybe we could allocate some additional funds each year to get to the point we can actually, fill in a broader swath of the downtown. But we also we wouldn't want to go too many. So we have the color options, the lighting options to present to you tonight. This is will be your first decision as a board. There's a number of color options we could go with. This is the previous one is the white light. So that's just like a very clean white, kind of an LED light. And then we have the next one, which was really just trying to incorporate more the coloring of the actual Rotary Lighthouse, the red top, and creating some differentiating color for the water portion, just so that you can really, clearly make out the difference there. Personally, I do not like that one.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm like,
so I'm just going to take you through each one, and then I'll provide recommendation at the end. I'll try to keep my opinions to myself for the rest. Okay, next.
It's like we're going to Vegas all the time.
Yeah, this is the warm white. So this is the more kind of traditional, warm, more of a yellow light. And we had this as an additional option. Again, it doesn't necessarily be a complete change from the white LED light that we've done with the snowflakes, but the snowflakes are up during the winter, and then these would replace the snowflakes. So there would be no overlap where we're getting two different lighting styles. And the lights would essentially be up through May to October. And those are just a few different variations of that warm light again.
What color are the snowflakes?
The snowflakes are a combination of the white really kind of almost bluey.
Yeah.
And then some of them have a half blue, like that royal blue that you saw for the water.
Okay.
So they're mixed between the white light and the white and blue. And they're lovely. But we definitely wanted to look at the warm white option. And then I think was that it? We had all white. Oh, that guy, yes. And then we went just with the white light with blue water. And that's the last option.
Oh, sure, you had to show me that one. I was sold earlier.
Which I don't mind that one. I like the contrast between the water and the lighthouse itself. But it's bright. I don't know. Personally, I think both Justin and myself were gravitating more towards the warm. I think we felt it was a nice fit. I believe that maybe. And I have to give credit to Tracy. The warm light was her idea as another consideration. We just weren't the white. I don't know. There's just.
Is it too bright? Is that?
It's very bright. It's very bright.
What I like about this one is I like the fact that you incorporate water.
Yeah.
We're downtown, right? We're on the St. Lawrence River.
Mm-hmm.
But if you feel that it's too bright.
Now this leads me to another one. We could do that with blue water. They're about 5 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're
floor standing.
to the poles. Yeah, so they're highly visible. They'll be a bit taller than the snowflakes just because of the nature of because it's a lighthouse, so it's obviously going to be taller than it is. But they'll be about the same width, so about 2 feet wide by 5 feet high. High up on the poles though, where the snowflakes are, so they certainly won't be in the way. And you would be surprised at how, I know that may seem big, but once you get them up on a pole, it's tiny. And that's a standard size.
Can you get the blue base with the warm white.
We could do that too. That's what I was just saying, that we could do that. We didn't get them to do that option. We could do the blue water with the warm
Are you
light.
able to put both those on the screen at the same time or no?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Let's see.
We believe in you. Not that one. Now, can you just
Even that was good.
slice the
Even that,
blue?
just like that.
Slice the blue on the bottom of the warm for a minute?
You know these LEDs, they can change.
I like the
color.
warm white with the blue.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
These LEDs change color. They're probably using GE or something, strips. They change color just with a,
That's what I was
No,
gonna
you
say.
can-
It's probably a little bit
whatever you
more
want.
expensive for us to pick and choose what color.
it doesn't need to be fixed.
Oh, it does. Yes, it does. With these guys, yes. And
Oh, okay.
yeah. It is a separate, they are separate strands of light. It's not like, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like Tash, where you can actually, like, we actually have the Phillips ones at the visitor center.
Yeah.
Where 3/4 you can go warm white and then the last you can go blue.
Beautiful.
And actually have it and just be one strand of lights, yeah. But these are the more traditional rope light that they actually have to cut and slice.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Here's the thing, so I think the one on the right looks very Christmassy, but when you add a little bit of blue, it doesn't look as Christmassy. But I don't like the bright light, I like the warm light.
Yeah.
So you can go warm light with blue?
With the blue water. I apologize. That's the one configuration that we didn't do.
That's what I personally,
No, agreed.
Yeah, me too.
the warm.
But you can, you're still ordering it, right? You can still tell.
Yeah, it's just a matter, at this point, it's just a matter of what lighting configuration we want.
Yeah, I think the bright white would look good if we were putting it in the winter like our snowflakes do, but in summer, I don't think, I think it'd be too.
Yeah, and I feel like the warmer light would also go more with, like, we're trying to incorporate Edison lights on the promenade, in some of those parklets. So we're really pushing more towards warmer light in the summertime, which I think would be a better fit. Those.
Let's, just don't put them pole to pole, please.
You're getting them close. Yes, and that's the other thing too, is, so there's 14 down there right now, like they're still on now. So if you, when you leave tonight, take a drive through the downtown. We would never recommend doing every pole because it can be way too much too quick.
Yeah.
I think what you have down there now with the 14 lights is nice. There's one block to the east and the west that we would recommend maybe getting another 4 or 6, and then you'd have full coverage of that BIA district. Maybe take a couple down Center Street. Maybe do a little bit of water at some point, right? Just to fully cover that BIA area. But I wouldn't necessarily fill in any poles with more lights. I think it's just perfect the way it is right now, and it could look very Vegas-y.
Is there any,
the other.
difference in costs to go the multiple light?
No.
And is there any opportunity, sometimes you see people now have these beautiful bulbs that go between street light to street light, you know, the nice little bulbs. Is there any?
Oh, you mean what Brockville did?
Yeah, that's pretty.
I would completely, but
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I think it's okay.
I love the over the.
Sorry, Brockville.
Like,
Yeah.
over the street,
Yeah.
but I don't know about the pole to pole. But again, hey, if that's something the BIA wanted to explore.
Over the street sounds cool.
We certainly could.
It destroys my OCD because it's so uneven.
But again, that's where, you know, that's up to.
I do like the over the street.
You could look at that as a compliment, you know.
No, I guess my only point was, if we did this, could we expand on it?
Absolutely.
In the future, right? It could be an expansion of something else as well.
There's nothing to stop you from adding
Now or
more
whatever.
lights.
I think the softer light's better because I'll tell you what, I go down to the waterfront there in the nighttime and those lights that they've got.
The solar ones?
They're bright and they need a shade on them. Like they're blinding. They're blinding. When you go down there in the nighttime, those lights are blinding.
Night lights going on in your eyes and you're like, damn.
Yeah, like I purposely walk all the way over to, there's one bench just east of the amphitheater that has no lights where that's blinding you.
Because you're doing shady activity on that.
Yeah, maybe.
I usually wear a hat so it doesn't bother me as much.
But and then another thing it does too, in the summertime, the mosquitoes down there, like the lights is like, it's.
That's your shade.
There's a ball of mosquitoes there that you can't see through.
Yeah.
Just an idea.
They're not the first person that I've heard that comment.
Yeah, like all it takes is a simple shade to deflect the light down onto the ground.
Yeah.
More subtle light.
And that's where.
That gets back to like the softer.
Brighter, yeah. Yeah, and the warmer I don't think would be as hard on the eyes. And it gives a more, I don't know, whimsical feel to it. I think.
magical.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I think that with the blue, with the blue water would be a pretty good match.
It sounds like we agree on the soft white, but
it's
it's.
just a matter of whether you want it plain or with the blue. And I will, yeah.
Put a soft blue on it, just like the soft white.
I worry about that bright blue contrast because that's where that gives Christmas to me. You see a lot of houses that do that gold and blue.
Let me see again, put it up again, the blue one.
Like maybe like Terry said, a lighter blue.
Is there a soft?
And you should be able to go with a soft blue, just like the soft white.
Noisy.
Or dark.
That would be pretty.
Yeah.
I like that.
Versus like a real bright.
I like just that it's showing that it's water, that's like.
I know.
That's what
I like that dichotomy,
That
like
contrast,
that.
yeah.
Exactly.
Contrast always,
Yeah, yeah, it makes a difference.
The features are water downtown, right? That's,
And it ties into our logo as well.
Yeah.
So maybe go back and ask them if there's a different shade of blue. You even said like navy
I
blue.
think darker would be a softer contrast, would be warm light personally.
This is
Yeah.
my hairstylist, so you.
And also our, like Prescott, it's a darker, it's more of a navy,
Oh, yeah, it
so
is
we
too.
keep it in tie.
oh, I like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
I also feel the softer light's more kind of our heritage feel.
Yeah.
That's just a total personal warm light, I feel heritage.
So we could see if there's
Yeah, the
anything
idea of
darker.
Highlighting the water, I think is a nice touch for sure, but maybe darker. So
Okay. So we could look and see what options are, if there is a darker blue, and then see if there's a lighter.
If not, I think we agree on the blue,
We just need.
Yeah.
right?
And the contrast between
Yeah.
like the warm light.
Just the warm.
Matter of
Yeah.
what color we go with for the water, but everyone likes the contrast. Sounds like we've got a consensus at least on that.
I feel like I want to wear my sandals right now. Go get some seashells.
I'm waiting.
Where do you find seashells here?
So Dana, how long does it take for them to create these? Like, can we wait to see what the different blues may look, or do we have to make a consensus now?
So I personally would recommend that at this point, you let staff, for the sake of time, we are getting a little bit down to the wire. If we're not meeting for another month and we don't have a committee decision now, that's going to delay final production of these for another month. Ideally, we would like to be putting these up as soon as we're taking the snowflakes down.
Okay.
So we're hoping to get these into our hands, we could even get it, if we could even get a decision through email, like I feel like this is something fairly minor that could probably just send out to the board to make the final decision on the watercolor.
Yep.
With the understanding that everyone's, has consensus that we want to go with the warm lights, we want it contrasting with the water, with either a darker blue or a lighter.
If that option doesn't exist, which it may not,
Yes.
which
One do you guys?
The lighter will, I don't believe that those lights come any darker. I don't believe there's like a navy tone, just thinking about what you can buy in stores, right? I don't believe that it's gonna come any darker. So I think our next best option would probably be like more of that turquoisey kind of blue.
I reject my blue.
I
back my vote for the blue if it's
I'm not
teal.
sold on
Okay, and what's the price?
Teal, turquoise, yeah.
And what's the price of this?
No price, it's all the same price, regardless of whether you go with one color or.
And have we already allocated these from our budget? Okay.
Yeah,
So-
Classic Displays, that's the company that we're using.
Okay, so should we make a motion?
But I think if we could, even if the board is in approval of making the final decision through email, that still gives you the authority to make that final decision. We just don't have to wait for another meeting.
so we just need to hear if there's an option and if.
Yeah. there's any additional blue options for the
Classic
water,
displays.
and if not,
Was it?
And if not, that's the blue.
Then that's it. Warm light with the blue and we are done.
back to the original or go with the blue that we've got.
If this is the blue or teal, my vote would be the warm light with this blue. If that helps speed, if if everyone thinks that's a good mix, and we can make the decision, so you can move forward.
So this is my first motion, so you can tell me if I'm doing it wrong. So
Back you can.
I'd like to make a motion that we proceed with 14 of the presented lighthouses with the soft lighting and a blue on the bottom to represent the waves to be verified via email before we place the final order.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds to me.
You can actually look at different tones of blue on their website, just so you guys know. And it looks like that's probably the darkest one, I can tell.
Do you have a first?
I'll put a motion. I don't want to leave you hanging, poor thing.
Natalie, thank you. All in favor?
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Made a decision.
I'm excited that those lights, so it says lighting,
I love
you're
it.
like to be announced, so I was like waiting to see, those are cool.
I'm so glad you guys went with the lighthouse.
Yeah, partly because it's unique to Prescott.
True.
I love it.
Okay, our next line item is committee appointments, marketing and promotions committee. So as per the presentation by Dana and Justin, thank you so much. Who might be interested in marketing and promotions?
Look at that.
Quicker on the hands.
We can only have 3 plus,
The chair.
Plus the
So we're good with that. Yeah, we've reached our quorum with that.
Our gal that was here, she's still here?
Well, then we have 4 people put their hands up.
Unfortunately, Nicole left. Yeah.
And who would be interested in the placemaking committee?
Please.
That's like downtown beautification, physical improvements.
I like stuff like that. You can put my name down.
And can we just confirm who was on the marketing and promotion?
We have Natalie, Bonnie, and Terry.
And then for placemaking, we have Kevin, Joanna, anyone else?
Yeah, so we've got 2 so far.
Just one more.
Nicole has sat on committees in the past, so there is potentially that option that she may sign up, but if there's no other takers here tonight. It's a fun committee. But all the, where the idea for lighthouses came from. And these are not necessarily set in stone, they're like.
Can you only be on one committee?
No, if there's, if there was a whole bunch, if everyone wanted to be on committees, then I would say, yeah, I'd probably limit it to one.
Okay.
It's not like we've got a whole bunch of people coming out of the woodwork so we could definitely sit on multiple committees, nothing preventing you from that.
The lighthouse came from a 3-second sketch Leslie did in a meeting one day.
Perfect.
And it actually stuck. It was pretty cool.
Great.
It was-
Do we need a motion for that?
Sure.
Okay, so I think we would like to place a motion to accept all the nominees for the Marketing and Promotions Committee and all the nominees for the Placemaking Committee. Do I have a first? And a second? All in favor? Okay, next on the agenda is future meeting dates and locations. So what works for people?
Maybe, Justin, did you just want to give a bit of background on some of the availability on things that we encountered when trying to schedule this one?
in the previous term, we always did the second Tuesday of the month for the BIA meeting. When we were scheduling this, especially for the first one, we wanted to have as many people here as possible for the orientation session. We ended up on the Monday evening because number of people have commitments on those other nights, the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. So we got to the Monday night. It would be an option for moving forward. The biggest impediment to that is that council meetings are also held on Monday nights. They will move around and council members have the commitment on those Monday nights. So
Also holidays too.
Holidays as well.
Holidays, what I'm thinking about, like Tuesdays is way better for me than Mondays.
As we get into the summer. So
Yeah,
we could look at a different night of the week. We can look at a different time of day. I know that gets really conflicted for people, but we could look for a daytime meeting, morning, afternoon, noon hour, if that worked for people. Really open as to what time that is, but we'd set the meeting on an ongoing basis for a particular day and time. With regards to location, we've had the last few since coming back from COVID right in here. It's an option. Prior to COVID, I know the BIA, maybe not directly prior, but in years past has also moved the meeting around to different locations in the downtown, which could be a possibility as well. We do have to continue to stream it, so there is a technology requirement there. But by and large, it's what works for the most number of people.
Can you send out a Google poll or whatever it's called?
We could do another poll there about it. One thing I will say about the doodle polls,
Doodles.
the spirit of the doodle poll isn't necessarily what night is best.
Okay.
It's the nights that I can make work. Like we want as many options as possible from those options so we can align that. I mean, ideally, if it was possible to settle on a date tonight, that would be especially.
We have to do it like on the first Tuesday of every month?
Not necessarily.
No, it could be the second too. It could
The
be
second.
I have an ongoing thing like every other Tuesday, so.
So if there was a way that aligned with that to get that out of the way, then the Tuesday would be something that could work. So if
For me, the evenings work good. 5 o'clock.
Yeah, and I think maybe if we can just start by process of elimination, like for example, is daytime an option for anyone?
No.
Everyone, okay, no, so daytime's out. And it doesn't have to be like, it can be Monday, but it's just what Justin, there's this strong potential of it being problematic, right? And I can tell you, when you get into, that's why we want to set that consistent day of the month, the same day of every month, same time. Because when you get into inconsistent meetings, that's when people start to fall off. Staff have a lot of meetings above and beyond, like the BIA is a small portion of what we're all doing so there's that too, right? Council has a ton of commitments. So I get it. Business owners, you've got a lot of different
Were Wednesdays
commitments, so
Were Wednesdays not a good night?
I don't believe so, no.
Wednesdays, we had a couple conflicts for members.
Tuesday.
I assume Fridays.
I'm okay
are
for
not
Tuesday.
I'm also okay for
I
Tuesday.
can make.
Let's put up our hands for the second Tuesday.
Tuesdays I think is viable.
Tuesdays I think is okay.
It should be.
Tuesday evenings.
Put that on the screen.
I mean,
You know, with the understanding that not everyone's going to be able to.
And that's the other thing too, right? Like this is not, you're not obligated.
Zoom like.
Oh, but if I know like well enough in advance, I just put it in my calendar. So,
And does 6 o'clock work for everyone?
yeah.
I think 6 is good.
If you're not here, you're not here.
I can do 6, but I have to leave.
And there's no
up there.
like repercussions and,
Come
you know,
back.
if you can't make it to that one, hopefully you can the next.
My volunteers.
So can we set a motion that the future Board of Management meetings to be set to the second Tuesday of each month at 6 PM for the duration of this term?
Just before we do, if it's easier to move it a little bit forward, would everyone be able to move a half hour forward and then you wouldn't have to,
Well, 5:30 would be better for me on a Tuesday.
I feel like.
Hey, we would
I'm fine.
love 5:30, you have more than 6.
Selfishly, I'd go over at from work to here.
5:30.
Downtime.
Okay,
Yeah.
What time, 5 or 5:30?
5:30.
Perfect.
okay, so let's amend that future Board of Management meetings be set to the second Tuesday of each month at 5:30 PM for the duration of this term. Jonathan,
Is that okay with everybody?
Kevin?
I'm good.
Johanna?
All those in favor?
I'll get there.
Well, Matthew,
I'll get there.
it takes time.
So next is staff updates, BIA coordinator update.
So mine will be brief tonight, the first meeting through here, just a couple of items I wanted to bring to your attention.
Can I just, I'm so sorry for interrupting. Do we have them here every time? We didn't talk location.
Yeah, she made a good point.
We did not confirm a location. Do you want to have them here just moving forward for the next?
As a default.
Next 3 meetings?
I would suggest that we do just until we figure out exactly what, for consistency, until we know what we're doing. Just in terms of if we do start changing locations, we have to consider the ramifications of that in terms of how that will be politically or publicly appreciated or looked at. So I think this is just a safe environment and.
Absolutely.
I was just gonna say, like, if you guys wanted to use the outpost, that is an open option for us. So I'm just open.
And that's really where it used to rotate from business to business to business. If it could, again, that's the issue, is not every business has that space to accommodate.
And the streamlining, like the.
Plus you need.
Yeah, and the technology has to be considered
Well,
as
it's
well.
actually, we're pretty portable now. We've got a new system. It's called an OWL. We're not using it tonight because we're able to use the console. But we're fully portable, so we can move our meetings anywhere.
See, that's
Okay.
fun. See, and for me, it's like, it's lovely to see other people's businesses. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to be able to be in each person's business and just, right?
But I think it's smart to keep here for now until we get rolling, but I would like to kind of rediscuss.
And that's something.
Nosing around other buildings.
Do charities get our hair done when we're, well, I don't know about Terry and I, but.
And something we would love to partner on, the idea that we just kind of started earlier, well, I guess in 2022 now, was the more business networking events. So we hosted one event at the Justin, my gosh, why is the name escaping
We
me?
called it the Business After Hours.
Business After Hours, thank you. So we'd really like to expand on those as well, and those are the type of events that we could look at rotating from business to business and run them in partnership with the BIA. So it wouldn't just
Yeah,
necessarily
there's
have to
a
be.
lot of collaboration between us and the chamber.
Yeah.
And the town, just making sure we are touching base with all these businesses. So it's not necessarily an actual meeting, which is kind of like meh, but because if we do a business after 5, we can actually get different people in to actually see what these businesses are doing. I mean, it's amazing for us to see it, but it's also amazing for us to collaboratively get other people in to see what these businesses are, these amazing businesses are actually doing.
And trying to arrange more informal opportunities for people. Places, sip and shops, networking events like that at the businesses, just trying to both get the business owners interacting more and getting people out and about.
Yeah. We can certainly, this venue's always here.
Cool.
So we can set that as this is the default location and then change as required. That's easiest.
So shall I return?
No.
So, two brief things. The first is that a couple members of the Brockville and Area Horticultural Society have reached out to me in the past month. They're doing some work with the downtown Brockville BIA, and would be interested in discussing some things to do here as well, maybe some partnerships with businesses on beautification. So I'm going to meet with them in the next couple of weeks and see what it is they want to look at, but that's something that we could discuss at an upcoming meeting or at an upcoming committee meeting. The second thing was Tracy forwarded the OBIAA, which is the Provincial Association of BIAs that we belong to. They are hosting with OMAFRA a strategic planning program for BIAs or for not-for-profit boards. It is something that can be considered, but it is a rather onerous time commitment. It will require 3 board members to commit to 6 2-hour daytime sessions, which I don't necessarily think too many people would have the time for, but it is something that is out there to be considered.
What would it be?
So essentially, it's for the board to engage in, if there was a desire to engage in some strategic planning. So if you wanted to think, about broader term, directions for the BIA, longer term projects, approaches, new approaches, looking at some new pillars, key areas that you really want to put your focus into, then you could basically delve into a strategic planning exercise and adopt a new strategic plan for the board that would be similar to the economic development and tourism strategy, provide you with a guiding document essentially that identifies what your key pillars are and what the actions are that are going to be implemented to realize those pillars and goals that you've set out. So it's certainly an exercise that the BIA could consider. We could provide maybe some additional information on strategic planning at the next meeting, and that might help the board make a better decision.
Where are these trainings and who's doing them?
So it's BioMAFRA, the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs.
Okay.
They're the ones that are delivering the training. They deliver it across Ontario to economic development agencies, municipalities, BIAs, other relevant organizations. The when and the where, Justin?
It starts in April, and I believe it is in Kempville, but I'm not 100% sure.
So it's a commitment of going to Kempville for 2 hours.
Location in there.
Is it online too, Jackson?
I don't believe it was.
Really?
Wow.
After COVID, that's surprising.
Well, especially for just 2 hours.
Although Kempville's not that far.
Kempville is only 30 minutes.
Well, and I think for this, it's a very hands-on where that's why they want like the 3 members of the BIA so that you can kind of almost do a mock strategic planning exercise and bring that back to the board and help the board engage in a full-on.
There is a webinar option.
Yeah.
But yes, it is committing to a full-scale undertaking, and
I think before we even send anyone there, it would be wise to ask if we would be looking at changing the strategic pillars or not. Do you know what I mean? Like, would there be a need to do that, or are we all happy with what that looks like right now as far as the strategic plan is moving forward? That would be for me. I wouldn't want to go and then come back and show you guys the strategic plan and have everybody go, bleh, right? So, and I don't think anyone would want to.
It's not
a brainstorming exercise,
It's
right?
not gonna
Like,
change the pillars per se.
Yeah.
It's about coming up with the items that everybody wants to see.
but this
dealt with.
more almost like a train the trainer kind of activity more than anything else. It's
Okay,
not
cool.
Like you would be, board members would then be coming back and
take the rest of the board through a strategic planning exercise, yeah.
I'd be down with that.
Basically to improve your knowledge on how to come up with the strategic plan.
Which is good for benefiting our businesses,
Yeah.
right? So, because if we change our plan.
I've done it before, and that's exactly what it does. It teaches you the process, and it shows you the good ways to do it, the bad ways to do it. And I found it really helpful.
Yeah, I was just gonna
found it
say,
very
like,
fascinating.
especially as a new member, I think it would be, yeah.
Justin is just checking to see if there's a cost.
it is a free webinar.
What?
So
Not free.
I would be in.
Free training.
How many's allowed to go from
Planning
there?
is fantastic.
Is it limited to 3 or?
And how
I
often?
don't believe it is limited.
When is the training and how often? Do they know?
April 13th, April 27th, May 11th, and May 25th.
Oh, there's 4
Okay.
for 2 hours.
Just send an email
And then
out
there-
and we can all, whoever wants to sign up can just sign up.
So we sign up as a
Group.
GIA, it appears, so.
I think it'd be worth it.
Linda, would you go in person or would you go online?
I don't believe they actually have an in-person session for
Oh, they don't?
Bound through, sorry. No, it's webinar training series.
So could we do it here as a group and do it on a big screen?
Love that idea.
I just can't do it at the food bank simply because I get 100,000 interruptions without any exaggeration, because that's what I'm there for, right? I'm there to focus on my clients. Where here I could take the time off and focus on this.
I know when we did it before, we did it at the CSC boardroom
Wonderful.
with yeah,
That's a good idea.
yeah.
And if that doesn't work, I can get my boardroom.
Okay.
If that doesn't work, I can get my new kitchen.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Because then we could eat and drink.
Town hall's always an option too.
So who would be interested?
I'd be interested in doing that.
Okay, me too.
Definitely.
Okay, so we've got 4.
What were the times a day?
What night was it again? Like committing to.
13th, 27th, and 11th
Specified.
of May.
It's probably during the day, I would assume.
During the day?
I don't know for sure,
Yes,
but
during the day you said, right?
I believe so, yes.
most of their stuff is during the
I
day.
can't do that Thursdays because I work on Thursdays.
The first session will be at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And then they'll use a poll to confirm the best time for the majority of participants for the remaining sessions.
So these have to be seen live?
Yes.
And again, if we've got 4, that gives us the availability that if one of us can't make it at one particular session, we're still going to meet the criteria of 3.
But I think it'd be definitely worth it if you're gonna make the commitment to go to it all, right? Because
Agreed.
it's almost like reading chapter 1 and then reading chapter 10.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah. If you don't mind sending those dates, that would be, but they said, but you told us the 13th, the 27th and the.
13th, the 27th, the 11th of May, and the 25th of May.
And the first session will be 10 a.m.
10 a.m. on the 13th of April.
I probably won't be able to do it
So
based on my schedule at work. I have to work at the cafe Thursdays and Fridays.
Okay.
And that doesn't change for me, so.
We'll keep you in the loop.
I'd love to learn it, but I've done strategic planning before, but I just think it'd be super interesting. Are you gonna bring it back to the group and share it with the group?
Yeah, I think it's.
100%.
Yeah.
If you bring us some goodies from the cafe, we'll think about it. That's what we call leverage.
did you want to pass a motion to direct staff to sign up the BIA for that session?
Is that something that you can
Is it
send us?
direct staff or is it to approve that staff can sign it?
The board has to commit the board of directors to it and assign a minimum of 3 board members. It's a formal commitment, so we would need a formal motion from the board tonight
Okay.
for us to be able to proceed.
So I would like to set up a motion for Natalie, Bonnie, and I, and Johanna, if she's available, to sign up for the strategic planning exercise from the ECDev strategy with the webinar option, and to have us registered for that. Favor? Yeah, I remember this time.
Was that Charity that seconded?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks, Justin. Anything else?
That concludes me.
Okay.
Excuse me, frog in my throat. So just a couple of updates. Actually, number 2, I'm going to defer, just given the length of, we've already been here for 2 hours this evening, so I think I'll defer the downtown business and development update to our next regular meeting. But I did want to bring the community awards program to the attention of the board. So this is an annual program that the town has adopted. And in the past couple of years, they've introduced a business category. So the call is out for that awards program right now. There is a business category, as mentioned. So this is really an opportunity just for me to inform members of the nomination, and it closes April 14th. So it's a great program. I would certainly encourage, if you know of any deserving business, if you'd like to self-nominate, that is certainly an option as well. We had some really fantastic businesses, past recipients of the award. Property Guys was one of the recipients. And it's terrible, it's escaping me, do you recall, Matthew?
Prescott Memorials.
Thank you. Prescott Memorials was last year's recipient. So it's a really great program. It's an opportunity for council to recognize business that has gone, above and beyond in their activities, and as well as community volunteers and champions. We have a really lovely presentation ceremony, and it's, there's a lot of cachet that goes with being able to say that you're one of those selected businesses. So I would certainly encourage the board to please promote. There are social media posts out there. If you are following our pages on a regular basis, the main Prescott page and the Explore and Invest pages, we're sharing regularly through those. So please promote and consider nominating yourself. I see a lot of, deserving businesses around this room, and it's, like I say, it's a great program, and it's a great opportunity for businesses to get recognition for the hard work and the commitment that they make every day to making this community a better place to live, work, and play. So.
And it can be a not-for-profit type business. It doesn't have to.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we necessarily discriminate between for and not-for-profit. I think in the past, it's usually for-profit businesses that are nominated, because we also have like the other categories, I think, that would capture some of those nonprofit organizations. A lot of times individuals that are involved with those organizations get nominated through the volunteer aspect of the program. But yeah, certainly open to all businesses.
So can you give some examples, so Property Guys, when they were nominated, for what reasons were they nominated?
So it would have been, being a good corporate citizen, essentially, whether that be supporting business initiatives, programs, getting involved in the community through the BIA, through the chamber, engaging in regular activities. Also just, supporting other community things, whether it be maybe sponsoring local soccer teams or coming out and supporting a fundraiser as your business. Just being engaged, showing up, just, being out there supporting other businesses and what they're doing. It's been a multitude of reasons that we've seen, justification for nominating businesses, and it's really all over the board. So there's certainly no one thing that would make you eligible. That's really it for my updates. I'll have more on the downtown business and development update at the next meeting. A lot of exciting things happening in the downtown. I'll just kind of leave it at that. New businesses, new renovation, redevelopment projects. So that'll really just be an opportunity for me to update the board on what's happening there. So then have a little bit more familiarity with what's going on behind the doors in some of these properties and what new businesses are coming, and can maybe better speak to the public when questioned about those, or even when you hear general comments about things happening in the downtown. You can provide supportive information to that. So we're just really trying to equip the board with as much information as we possibly can.
Cool. You had mentioned earlier that we're ambassadors, and that's exactly it, right? Oftentimes, people don't know what's going on, even though when you live it, you're like, how could you not possibly know that we're not doing that? So it's a great chance just to, when you're having a chat, saying, did you know the BIA is doing this or doing that? Or did you know that this is being offered from the town? It's kind of a neat way to be an ambassador.
That's it for my updates.
Okay, so committee roundtable, 10A, new business for members. I think we're kind of good on that. I think we're good on
I was
that.
gonna suggest is having a planning session, but I guess we might as well wait until And
I think there would be value to us
Yeah.
being able to kind of see what the strategic
exactly.
planning looks like and then bring it back to the rest of the board. Upcoming committee meetings, marketing and promotions committee, date TBD, and placemaking committee, date TBD.
So what I would suggest is that you set those meetings, the third and the fourth, Thursday,
Agreed.
Tuesday,
Yep.
the next 2 Tuesdays. And then have that set as a standing meeting, but if there isn't anything to go to that meeting that month, then we just wouldn't hold it. So I don't believe that anything's been sent to those 2 committees this evening. So we wouldn't hold them in March, but we would set the dates as the 3rd Tuesday for the marketing committee and the 4th Tuesday for the placemaking committee.
Does that sound to everyone?
At 6 or 5:30?
5:30.
5:30?
5:30.
And
It'll be the conflict.
we have those at the museum.
I'm not. I can move.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, so if I can set a motion to establish the date for the marketing and promotions committee on the 3rd Tuesday of every month at 5:30 at the museum. Natalie? Ready? All in favor? If I can set a motion, please, to set the placemaking committee on the 4th Tuesday of every month at 5:30 at the museum. May I have a first? Natalie?
You okay with that?
All in favor?
I'm good at that.
Studious.
Okay. So I want to thank everyone. This is a meeting that was a little bit longer than usual, but completely appreciate your engagement and everything we've accomplished. I'm really excited to see the groundwork that we're setting down. And unless anyone has anything else to talk about, I would like to have a motion for an adjournment. Okay, I think we've got our first and second. All in favor?